Hola, and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including BoJack Horseman, which we'll be getting into today. I'm your host, Alex Bonilla, and today I'm joined by Sam Quattro.
Hello.
And Michelle Anderer.
Hey.
You can find more about this podcast at overlyanimated.com. You can subscribe to us, our BoJack Horseman-centric feed, or our general podcast feed on iTunes or on your preferred podcatcher. And we would always appreciate your ratings and reviews wherever you listen to us. As for today, we will be continuing our BoJack Horseman coverage. We're going episode by episode through the 4th season released on Netflix. And today we have reached the 10th episode of the season, titled Lovin' That Cali Lifestyle. I believe.
Oh my God, loving that Cali lifestyle.
That's the right way to say it, probably.
Yeah, good job on the accent. I am not that good with California impressions.
No problem, Alex. I am on the West Coast now, so it's like, I'm totally about that.
Has it infected you all the way in New Mexico?
No, it hasn't.
Okay.
That isn't the accent that's out here.
Okay.
Ooh, what is the accent in New Mexico?
Hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlotte didn't have much of an accent, or Penny either.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're focusing more on California today. I think also the title is all lowercase letters, if I'm correct. So just pushing on that aesthetic.
Yeah, because that's like the style. Because all the kids text in lowercase Alex J's.
Well,
uppercase is too much work.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
But see, my autocorrect does uppercase for me, so.
I know it does, but then you have to erase it and then go back.
Yeah, that's too much effort.
Make it lowercase.
You're gonna maintain the aesthetic, Alex.
Exactly. Like that's what I do.
Uppercase.
This is why I would not survive in Los Angeles. But so we'll be getting in. Despite the upbeatness of the title, let's say that it doesn't end the greatest way. So I guess we'll just go into general impressions here. How do you feel about our developments on Hollyhock and Beatrice and Princess Carolyn all around? Let's go to Michelle first. How do you feel about this episode?
I feel pretty okay about it, honestly. Like, I'm kind of sad we didn't get to see more of Hollyhock's dads, because I love them so much. But it was good to figure out what's going on with literally everyone else. We got to see Princess Carolyn forge BoJack's name, and we actually jumped around the timeline several times, which I thought was pretty interesting. But yeah, overall, I liked this episode.
Yeah, I think we've complained in the past about the time jumps this show does, but I think in this episode it works.
In this episode.
Yeah, in this episode it works fine as a framing device. That way you get to realize how they're all intertwined. So at least here it works. We got some Princess Carolyn in there too, so that was nice to see. Sam, how do you feel in general about this episode?
I thought it was okay. I don't know, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I think, definitely we get big plot, whatever stuff with Hollyhock and Beatrice and BoJack and the clown dentist and stuff.
Oh God, I forgot. Yeah, I tried to block them from memory. I forgot they happened.
I don't know. I've watched this episode a couple times and I just haven't really felt it that much.
As a whole, you mean?
Yeah, I haven't felt what's going on and the emotional impact of it that much,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, as for me, I don't know if you guys agree with this, but the first time I watched this, we have this opening, right, of Hollyhock being very disoriented and she collapses. But then we go 2/3 of the episode without cutting back to that, to the point where when we went back to that scene, I was like, wait a minute, how did I forget this happened?
Yeah, it's more dramatic at the beginning, and then it goes into very chill things.
Yeah, and it focuses on all these more mundane things to the point where when we get back to it, you're like, whoa,
That's actually not okay.
Yeah, this was part of the episode. Whoa. And so I think in that sense it's an interesting move, just to move all your emotional punch to the end of the episode, because you realize that's kind of what people are in this for anyway. But
yeah.
But that makes it feel unbalanced. You're pushing everything to the end of the episode, especially if you remember the stuff that happened at the beginning.
Yeah, I kind of wish that part was given more attention, because the first time I watched it, I missed so many things that would have been like, nice to have been able to remember. Like there's a part where like she gets up and she like has to pull her pants up because like they don't fit as well because she's being drugged. But like that stuff, like because she's like going through all this stuff, like it's hard to like notice really subtle stuff like that because we barely have any time to let it sink in, but it is there. So I don't know. I kind of wish they'd had more time for that, but they had so many other characters to deal with. It kind of makes sense that they didn't spend a lot of time with her.
Yeah, and I guess we'll focus on this storyline first. We have 3 intertwinings, but we'll focus on Hollyhock first. The beginning of the episode is just her being very disoriented. Like BoJack is rambling about the game of Uno, but it all sounds echoey. So from the very beginning, something's off. She's like very itchy, and then she wants to go over to the kitchen. She breaks a glass. And then it just culminates in her going up to the bathroom, and like the medicine cabinet gets messed up, and she collapses as she posts a happy picture, loving that Cali lifestyle, to her dad's, and then we just cut to intro. But that it was very sudden, the opening for sure.
No.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Something broke up here.
Yeah, it dipped out for a second.
Yeah. Where was I? Okay, now I know. Okay, so we have that very sudden opening, and we abandoned that for a long time. But then we eventually get back to it. We have BoJack calling out for Hollyhock. Hollyhock. They hear her fall in the bathroom. And he goes to the hospital, and then we have this very interesting dialogue with BoJack and the nurse and the receptionist rather, and he's trying to explain like why he needs to see her. Eventually he's able to get out his true feelings for Hollyhock. Like she's funny, but she isn't mean. She's very sweet, even if she can be sarcastic. And of course the receptionist, like in a sense of realism, like I guess in a fantasy show, you would say, oh, okay, that's so sweet, fine, you can go in. But here's like, no, that doesn't matter. You have to be a legal guardian. So that dialogue hit me a little, especially because BoJack has had a problem with like expressing his true feelings. So every once in a while, when he finally gets to let it out, it feels like a nice refreshment.
And even seeing him struggle over remembering all of her last names and then like finally getting it right, but it not really mattering was really interesting to me. Like he is really trying. He is really kind of flipped out.
You can't pull that TV bullshit on the real world, quote unquote. You can't have all this like sentimental fun facts about your quote unquote daughter and then get to go see her. It's illegal.
Yeah.
So I do like that they kept that detail in of like still receptionist refuses. So we have BoJack falling asleep in the waiting room and then waking up to find the Mannheims are here, or at least the entire family. So as a quick breakdown, we have Jose Guerrero, the bear. We have Steve Mannheim, angry guy in overalls. Deshaun Mannheim, a black dance battler guy. Coop Robinson III, who just speaks very fancy. Uncle Zilberschlag, who just speaks in a European accent, I guess. Gregory Sung, he only watches foreign films.
He's so annoying.
Arturo,
I hate him.
Arturo Fonzarelli, aka the Iceman, and Quackers. So, how do we feel about the portrayal of this gay polyamorous family here? Like, they do all have very different personalities, so I personally enjoyed that. Favorites or flaws? Any general impressions here on the entire family? Sam?
There is certainly a lot of them. I don't know. It's just like it's a joke and it's funny because who has an 8-way polyamorous relationship? I don't know. It just was something that kind of didn't really hit for me. I think the joke is just like, oh, they all have like a billion last names, and now it's like we could have their dynamics. in the show, and each one of them is like, so distinctly themselves, and they each have their own little personalities, and we get to deal with that, and it's just like, I can do without.
Okay, so not
Aw.
not as hot on their appearance here. You, Michelle?
Nope.
I really liked they just seemed like such dads, and they were very uncompromising in how much they cared about Hollyhock. And I don't know, that made me really happy to see them as a unit. And to obviously be really good dads. Like, they are very concerned about her, and they notice things that BoJack did not notice at all, even though she'd been living with them for weeks. And so I don't know, I really liked them, and I liked their personalities. They don't seem like very deep characters because we spent 5 seconds with them, but as a unit, I think they're really great.
Yeah, I think in the style that they were doing this, just quick 5 seconds with each character, I guess they did enough to differentiate them. Although obviously because of so many names, it's impossible to
do much, to get really in there.
Right, but and like Sam says, at least with the gay stuff, they didn't do much except for joke. Also BoJack later, I sense a lot of male energy here, and that seemed to be the extent of them actually showing affection, at least in that sense. But we'll probably see more of them in the future. But right now, I guess it's okay as an introduction, especially considering we've been hyping this up since we heard the eight name long surname. But we have them all eventually getting angry at BoJack, informing him that she overdosed, and BoJack is like, wait, what? She was taking drugs?
What is she taking? Yeah, he does not.
Uh-huh.
He does not know what's going on.
And they mentioned it was amphetamines, so even more so, he's getting worried because he has all of his pills in the bathroom. And so BoJack is pleading with them, but once she gets better, I can talk to her. And of course they put their foot down. You are never seeing her again, basically. So that it hurts a lot, and it hurts even more when he gets home and you see him have this anxiety attack, feeling that it's his fault. He begins to flush pills down the toilet, and he just collapses on the floor, taking very heavy breaths. Have we seen BoJack have this kind of an attack before? I feel like this is, maybe it's been a while, but it affected me a lot just to see him get this physically agitated.
I think episode 1 he did actually have a panic attack. That's what they called it. He had to go to the hospital for it because he thought he was dying, but it was treated as a joke.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. But yeah,
so this is the first time it was played for straight then.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, at least to me, that scene hit very hard, just because you get the sensation, well, maybe he should have been paying attention, but at the same time, he never presented the pills in any way, so he feels that how could this have happened? Just helplessness.
Yeah. For sure.
But then we skip ahead to 1 week later. He begins to talk with Beatrice, talking about how he recognizes that Beatrice had a hard time as a parent. He says, I blew it even worse. Being a parent is impossible. And of course, Beatrice in her mental state can't really react to any of the serious dialogue he's giving. But she mentions, where is the girl? I made her coffee. And here we figure out that
dun dun dun,
that Beatrice has been putting a fat removal powder in the coffee, and
chub be gone. Very self-explanatory. Yeah, it's awful. And the way she says it, I don't remember exactly what she says. She's just it's only until she'd learned to take it herself. And it's oh my god, that's so scary.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so much because we know how awful Beatrice has been to BoJack, and it's just even in this state, she somehow manages to continue to cause him pain. But and so we have BoJack going off on Beatrice. You ruined the one good thing I had. He seems to think that this is a sign that Beatrice does have some mental clearness to the point where she is doing this deliberately. How do we feel about that? Is this a mistake on Beatrice's part, or how much blame does she actually have here? if any?
I don't know. That's hard.
Because it's a weird situation, right? Like she isn't totally there mentally, so.
Yeah. I think she definitely meant to do the chub be gone. Like she knew she was giving it to Hollyhock. Seems pretty clear about that. But like she has not been able to recognize BoJack like pretty much the entire time of the season. And I don't know. I mean, I think, and then like when we talk later on about like the next episode, like stuff about like weight and image becomes like very, it becomes apparent that it's been like a big thing that Beatrice has thought about like kind of her whole life, whether she wants to or not. And it gets like even more kind of like, oh wow, like was she thinking she was actually helping Hollyhock in a weird twisted way or not? But like it's hard to say like how like aware of everything she is in general.
Yeah, like without the context, it feels very very strange. Like I think up to now the only thing we have with Beatrice and weight is like in the old Sugarman place. I think there was a note where there's something about you couldn't have
ice cream. I think.
You can have lemon and sugar.
Oh right, yeah, lemon and sugar instead of ice cream. It's a lady food. Her mom said.
But like that's the only thing we have so far. So, but it's interesting to note if that has more influence later. But definitely, BoJack gets pissed and decides to go shove Beatrice off in the worst elder care facility he can. Interesting joke here of the nurse. Well, you can pay me a little extra if you want me to treat her better. Watch me not take out my wallet. She gets shoved into this room overlooking the dumpster. BoJack tells her off in a way. This is your life now. This is what it all added up to. And the episode ends with Beatrice seeming to get some clarity of where's my son and BoJack. Like it seems like this is the first time he finally recognizes her son. Interesting twist. I think some would say that maybe the disappearance of Hollyhock without anybody else to look at, maybe this reminds her. Who knows? But I guess without the next episode to lean on, we can't really say much about this.
Yeah, it's hard without the next episode, but yeah, that seems to make sense.
Yeah. But it is definitely an interesting place to cut it off. But yeah, all in all, like this is I think the main storyline of the episode, and it is one that hits hard just because like you see BoJack feeling kind of helpless over things that maybe he could have controlled, but he just didn't have consciousness of what was going on. But yeah, so I guess we'll leave that for next episode's recap, since that will deal more with that. But in the meantime, we can go over the other two things we have here.
Switching gears, very different mood.
Okay, so between the Princess Carolyn and the Mr. Peanut Butter Mr. Peanut Butter Diane Woodchuck plotlines, which one was funnier or more interesting to you?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean,
neither.
The Woodchuck thing with the hands. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to highlight. I personally prefer the Princess Carolyn one only because I enjoy Turtle Top whenever he makes an appearance. So, that part of it intrigued me. But yeah, I don't think there's a clear winner one over the other here.
What about for you, Sam? What do you?
I think I like Princess Carolyn's better because it has more to it. I think.
Yeah, you care
especially
more.
With the whole I care more, and especially with her sort of forging BoJack's signature. Apparently, forging signatures is a big theme this season.
Oh.
Does it happen in Todd's episode?
Oh, right, because
oh yeah, I forgot.
Which launched the whole fracking debacle.
Right. Yeah, okay, so that is a
true.
repeat. All right. Although here
it's a motif.
Okay, fancy, thank you. But yeah, at least here it seems more important since that's kind of our ending shot here. But I guess we can follow Princess Carolyn first. We find her drunk, still reeling from Ruthie.
Still sad.
But she eventually gets off her ass and gets to work, and she meets with Flip McVicker, voiced by Rami Malek of Mr. Robot. I think the nod there is I don't trust email, the government. Seems to be a nod to his show. But
did you know that he also voiced Tano in The Legend of Korra?
Oh, what?
Because he did.
Oh my god.
So he's been around longer than I thought.
Rami Malek.
Yeah, but we have him as this aspiring waiter/writer. He presents a TV show about a grizzled detective. But Princess Carolyn only notices because the script she's handed has the title Filbert.
Filbert.
Of all the coincidences in this show,
yeah, it's great. It's not like a really popular name, I imagine, for babies. Filbert.
Not at all. Like Dilbert sounds more common than Filbert, but
you know what? People can be named Filberts. It's fine.
They can, but the odds that you're going to name your TV project that you've worked years on of that.
Filbert!
Man.
I think Rocko's Modern Life had a Filbert. It was like the turtle dude.
I thought his name was Dilbert. Was it Filbert?
Oh my god, let's look it up.
I swear it was Dilbert. Like, he just needs he looks like a Dilbert.
Alright, we'll continue while I research that.
I confirmed that it was named Filbert, so...
yes,
Is it really? Okay, you were right.
It's true.
Okay, so...
You're right.
It's spelled different, but
there is historical precedence. Okay, we are all saved. Filbert is now a believable name. False alarm. But there's an interesting parallel drawn here because the writer says, like, I know I have this potential inside me, even if no one believes me. And of course, with the connection to Filbert, like Princess Carolyn.
Yeah.
You can take this in the mini with like the miscarriage thing, like she believes she can have a baby, or you can take this in the macro, and the macro, like people believe that she's not going to have success in her business, and she knows she can. So, and in any way you want to take it, this connects with Princess Carolyn perfectly. But she is still drunk, so with help from Todd and his band clowns, she gets to go in a flying chair into to a meeting with Turtletop.
That was so much with the dentist clowns. That's probably the best use we've seen of them so far this season. Them helping her out. And even then, it was kind of a stretch that their involvement made sense at all.
I just want them gone. I'm over it. This is like just like a poison on the last half of the season. The fucking dentist clowns, like really?
I'm so sad this is not even the end of the clowns.
Like, why do we need them?
Before we move on with the Princess Carolyn plotline, let's just get the clowns out of the way. So, now, one thing I do want to praise, I really like Yolanda. She's fun.
Yeah, no, she's great. Yeah. She's the only great one.
So she's here to shut down the clown business, as is justice should be served here. But Todd is like, no, give us a week, and we'll turn this into an entertainment business. If you don't laugh, I'll release my clowns into the woods. That'll be a good idea, right? And so Yolanda's like, fine, but I don't get amused easily. I once met Paul Rudd at a cocktail party, and I did not find him charming. So,
yeah, same. Me too.
So you and Yolanda would be best friends. Good.
Yeah, we went to the same cocktail party.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's all you need to bond.
So Yolanda eventually gets the show, and she's, wow, what a great show, is what I would say if I was entertained. I do enjoy Dot.
They actually did try.
Yeah, I enjoyed Todd's reaction here. My hooray was premature. So, finally a hooray not working out. So the clowns get sent off to the woods by a clown car, and yeah, well, that's pretty much the entire thing, right?
They agree to that. They're like practicing dentists. Like, they make legit money. Why would they agree to just go as Todd told them to?
Yeah, I guess you're right. There are like the female dentist who's very serious and can't be funny. Like, she goes in the car with them, so yeah. But yeah, I think we covered the entire clown plotline, so that was quick.
Yeah, we did. That's like all there was to it.
Oh, and also there was the clown doing the waltz of the rubber chicken. I don't know if
Yes.
are there
that.
life-size rubber chickens?
Probably.
Yeah, because I've never seen one, but I feel like that would be interesting to see in the wild.
There are many life-size things.
Yeah. But anyways,
life-size Barbies.
Oh.
Yeah, we had one in my old college.
That sounds creepier than a life-size rubber chicken.
It was creepy. It had a black eye.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move back to Princess Carolyn here because who cares about clowns? So she falls in front of Turtletop. Turtletop lets out a couple of good lines. You smell like someone tried to put out a fire at the booze factory with more booze. And she responds, "Oh, it's the new perfume, C-List by Seal." Well,
wow.
We have that. So he hears the idea. He's like, "Nah, but we can sell it to whattimeisit.com. They want a gritty streaming program." Have any of you been to whattimeisit.com since the episode?
Nope, I'm going there now.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Because I feel like this is the biggest advertisement they've ever had in their history.
Whattimeisit.com, it tells me the time.
Okay. I heard that if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see an advertisement for the show.
Really?
I have ad block on,
okay.
so let me turn it off.
Just for this, be bombarded by ads. Be careful, Sam.
So spoilers for those who haven't seen beyond this, but don't go to whattimeisit.com. But
No, I don't.
Okay, maybe it's a lie. So. But in any case, he says that they need a star to attach to it. Princess Carolyn is too drunk to bring up names, so Turtletop walks away. But because of the waltz of the rubber chicken, he gets delayed. And Princess Carolyn throws out a bunch of names. Aaron Eckhart is the only one I remember. But then, like, in the middle of it, he goes, BoJack Horseman. And
he gets all excited for who knows what reason. Yeah.
No, he starred in that movie, and then he ran off for like a year, and then he was in the booty thing.
The booty thing.
The booty school or whatever.
Thing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I can't even remember the fucking name of it.
FHBA. Yeah.
There we go. Good
Felicity
job.
Huffman's Booty Academy.
Yeah, that show doesn't deserve us to say its full name, but. And also he says he can play a rich, complex anti-hero, basically just telling the show that we're watching. But yeah, so Princess Carolyn is stuck having to get BoJack. BoJack doesn't pick up the call because he's busy taking Beatrice home, and so we have Princess Carolyn forging BoJack's signature.
Yay!
Yay!
I've forged signatures before.
Save your career, Princess Carolyn. That's all you have left. Do it.
There's no way this can backfire, right?
Well,
yeah.
We will see.
I don't know. Then it'll turn out like it was a whole like fracking. How was it? What's the word? Like deed or whatever. And then there'll be frackers under BoJack's house.
Yeah, she didn't really read that contract through, it seems. So who knows what extra stuff was thrown in. They do make mention, like, make it ironclad, because I don't want him skipping out again, making reference to what happened with Secretariat. So that interesting callback. And so, yeah, Princess Carolyn here, her entire character this episode was mostly drunk, with slight hint at wanting to get back into business. Any thoughts on just Princess Carolyn in general in this episode? I feel like this was one of the weaker Princess Carolyn episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it was. She didn't get to do much.
Yeah. The same, Sam?
Yeah, I agree. It's just like, it just gets us from point A to point B, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like setting up more than anything. We kind of used up all of our Princess Carolyn character development last episode, so I guess I don't blame them. But and on the other side, we have Jessica Biel's governor campaign.
It was short-lived, at least.
She literally ate the guy.
So I'm not.
It didn't talk about that. Talked about the avocado
Yeah, so
thing.
let's talk about this. Since I don't think this plotline has anything really substantial to cover.
Yeah, go
Avocados,
crazy.
yay
for
or
it.
nay? You go first, Michelle.
Like plain, definitely nay. But with salt and lime, definitely yay. Gotta dress that up.
Okay, you are covering both sides of the aisle. Not very sound of you. Sam, give me a hotter
No!
take than that.
It's like asking, do you want raw, nasty cauliflower, like stuff with like garlic and cheese on it? It's important, the context of eating food.
I agree with that. On avocados, I say nay. I'm not really an avocado person. Plus, I don't know. I feel like there's like this whole like thing with avocado farming where like it takes a lot of resources to farm them, and with the whole like influx of like the avocado trend, millennials and their avocado toast and stuff, like that's sort of like putting a lot of stress on the economy, and the whole avocado economy is stressed out. We need to calm down on avocados.
Okay.
It's true. If you're gonna like openly eat avocados on toast now, you have to have like skin of steel to not feel bad or like self-conscious about it. That's for sure.
Okay, I thought I was going to be alone on this, on being negative on avocados, but I guess we're 2.5 out of 3.
Yeah, and a half.
They're a thing.
Yeah.
You can make guacamole out of them.
Yeah, guacamole's good.
I haven't had guacamole.
Guac?
I haven't had that in a very long time. I would say probably literally 10 years.
Yo, Sam, you could find a lot of really good guac in New Mexico.
Yeah,
though.
I feel like guacamole is it's a very hard food. Like there's so many ways to mess it up. Too much lemon, too much salt. So there's
what? No, that's the perfect way.
No.
That's the perfect way. More lemon
No.
and
If
salt.
it's way too lemony, then it just ruins the nachos or whatever you're dipping the guacamole in.
Well, yeah, if it only tastes like lemon. Actually, you should be using more lime.
That is true.
Lemon.
But I guess I've just had bad experience with people who made guacamole, and I'm terrible at cooking, so I haven't made my own in a long time. But I haven't had a good guacamole in a long time, so that's why I'm hesitant to give it my support.
I can give you a legit recipe for guac if you're willing to try again.
Yeah, I'm willing, but it's just
Okay.
And also just avocados, like in general, their pits are way too big. Like there's not enough meat on the fruit compared to other fruits and vegetables you can consume. So it's just it's not worth the investment to consume avocados.
Tell us in the comments your opinions on avocados and also
guacamole. This has been the long-awaited, no one asked for return of hot takes on cold foods.
Yeah, I mostly make that for Steven Universe.
Foods is awesome. Don't diss that. It's a great column.
So,
well, now we got to go back and like retrofit all the other foods. Ice cream, great. Lemons,
Wait, isn't there a thing you can take that makes lemons taste like sweet?
Tequila?
No. Like a really expensive like pill or something that makes like sour taste.
Who would want that?
People that are bored like would want it. People at a weird boring party would be like, yeah, let's eat all the lemons. I swear this is
real. If you have to take a pill for something to taste better, then you're just doing food wrong. You're just doing it wrong.
Coffee, terrible.
I agree. Coffee is terrible.
No. Coffee is amazing.
Ew.
It's awful.
It smells okay though. I'll give it that.
No, it doesn't.
This is a full spectrum.
Yeah. Breakfast, milk, whatever the fuck they were all doing, and soup a piece of shit. Fine, I like breakfast. Eggs, cool.
I do not like eggs.
Okay, that's all the food I can think of.
Okay. So, the fact that we spent this much on avocados tells you that there's not much here. Beale eventually is ruined because she hates avocados, and Woodchuck wins.
Not because she literally killed Zach Braff.
Yeah. Well, see, I think what happened there is they paid off all the celebrities so that no one would squeal, since there was no other witnesses, just the celebrities that were trapped there. So it might have just been very good political handling on the part of Katrina.
Yeah, that sounds like something she'd be on top
of.
And
has Zach Braff fallen that much out of relevance that now nobody cares?
Let me think about that. Yes.
Like
Maybe they're like,
Aw.
he went on a trip and didn't tell anyone, so there's just waiting. It hasn't really sunk in that he might actually be gone for real.
It truly isn't 2004 anymore.
No.
Oh.
No. So, on that note, I think we can start wrapping up here. This episode, I don't want to say it's bad, but like, I guess just coming off of Ruthie, which I think we agreed was an above average episode, like this definitely feels like a letdown coming off of it. How do you guys feel just about it, like compared to the rest of the season? Is it one of the worst, or like middle of the pack? Where do we want to put it?
I think it's middle of the pack.
Yeah. I honestly, I think my least favorite's been the Todd-centered episode so far. Maybe on rewatch that will change, but I remember not being very high on that the first time I saw it.
Yes.
Wow, you don't like Todd?
Well, look what they gave him to work with the rest of the season. This dentist
Exactly,
clown
right.
plot line. Like, they kind of gave up.
Like
Well,
they
maybe
could've,
not gave up, but
they had the asexual labeling thing
that
going. They had
was really awesome, but everything else was kind of
Yeah.
whatevs.
and then they just gave him clown dentist.
Yeah, why? Why do we need them for a bajillion episodes in the background?
exactly. Even Halloween in January only lasted maybe one episode.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, they did make a callback to that in the Yolanda scene. Given that it isn't Halloween and there is no Halloweens in January, so
Well, yeah, it's like a running
Yeah.
gag. It's not a fucking 5-episode
Right.
arc.
yeah, we've given clowns an arc. Oh, yeah. So, so yeah.
We have given arc. That's something to think
Yeah,
about.
that'll definitely come into play when we start talking about just the entire season in general compared to previous seasons. But we'll get to that once we get to the final 2 episodes, and you can keep listening to us on overlyanimated.com if you want to listen to recaps on the final 2 episodes of the season. You can also join us on Discord if you want to chat with us about BoJack Horseman, this particular episode or others, or just any animation topic. You can join us there at overlyanimated.com/Discord. You can also leave us your takes on avocados and other assorted animated foods.
Yeah, fight me on avocados on our Discord.
Yeah, I'm sure we were all very negative on avocados, so the avocado army...
Hey, no!
Besides Michelle, you can leave her out of this. But
Yeah.
come at me and Sam if you want to defend your favorite vegetable fruit thing.
Who knows what avocado is.
You just call it avocado vegetable
Bingo.
fruit thing.
You
man.
can also support us financially via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. We want to give thanks to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Michael, aka Wazowski. And thanks as always to our Patreon executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, Andy, and yours truly. So in addition to BoJack Horseman podcast, we'll also be covering Rick and Morty. We have a Steven Universe podcast out for the first time in a long time, so you can check that out as well. And we'll be covering other animated shows and films for the next couple of weeks. So before we leave here, any final thoughts, guys?
Loving that Cali lifestyle.
That's
Have
the
you
best
ever
ending.
been to California?
Been once for a hot sec.
I have not.
But you'd fit right in with the voice, though.
Yeah, all the Valley Girls, gag me with a spoon.
I have heard in California, in some parts, they really like kale juice. That's a thing.
Yeah, gotta
drink
that,
So,
gotta drink that
it.
green juice.
yeah.
No,
So slimy. Delish.
Well, okay.
Yeah, on that note, we will leave you guys. Bye. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.
That was great effort, Alex. A for effort.
This is not my best ending. Adios.
Bye.
Oh no! Bye.